Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. Yes, viewers, and just before we head on into this final segment, we have another birthday shout out in the mix this morning, and we're just pulling up that photo there on screen. And this is a birthday shout out going to August Rose Thompson. And that's the daughter of our presiding officer, Abby Taylor. And would have turned 5. And that birthday was celebrated earlier in this week. So we're sending a birthday shout out to August Rose Thompson. And we indeed pray God's continued blessings upon you. All right. Very quickly this morning, we are heading straight on into our final interview for the morning. Dr. Ramesar is supposed to be joining us online at this point, coordinator of the U.W.I Film Degree Program. Good morning, Dr. Ramesar.
Morning, and morning, Tobago. How everybody going?
All right, so as we get started, we're heading straight on in. Please give us a little insight into the U.W.I Film Program. Is this something new? Has this been going on for some time? The encouragement for greater participation on the part of those students involved in film at the university?
Yeah, well, the program has been around since 2005, 2006, and we graduated over 100 students in with predominantly BAs in film production. There's also a degree in film studies, and they've started to show up all over the world in terms of some of the most venerable spaces: Cannes, Berlin Film Festival. Just this year, we've got people to Mexico, Nigeria, France, Germany, and so on, So they're starting to spread their wings, and manifest throughout the world. And that was our purpose. We always told people from the Caribbean generally and Tobago and Trinidad that we want them to be competitive and to complement their peers all over the world, and so said, so done. So they're starting to spread their wings and show up all over the place with some fantastic stories, narratives. So very, very satisfied with where we are. And that's just the first 6 months of this year. So everything's going quite well, huh?
Dr. Ramesar?
Yeah, are you hearing me?
Yes, no, I missed the first part. In terms of we're just having a little audio challenge there. But if you could just give
Okay.
us a quick, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, what I was saying is just the first 6 months of this year, our alumni and our students have been throughout Europe, to the top festivals in the world, film festivals in terms of Cannes, Berlin. They've been to Guadalajara in Mexico, picking up awards in Nigeria for their work. I mean, Tobago, everybody has been really manifesting, and that was our drive, was for our students from Tobago, Trinidad, the rest of the Caribbean, and so on, to manifest all over the world and to complement and compete with their peers internationally. And they're actually outdoing them in a way, because this is an undergraduate program. So typically, you don't see people from undergraduate film programs in the world competing at this level. It's usually people coming out of the Master of Fine Arts programs. So they are punching above their weight. And I think it's interesting because unlike other subjects like physics or literature, they don't do it at O levels, or used to call O levels, or even so-called A levels. They're starting from scratch for this 3-year program. And in 3 years, they're getting up to this point, quantum leaping. So it's very, very, very exciting.
Would you say definitely in terms of making that connection with the international side? Because many people you find, they speak about when you get this experience in terms of from the postgraduate level, you go international and you have the opportunity to connect. Would you say that this is one of the distinguishing features for this undergraduate program with the university at this time?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I just want to bring it in case we close suddenly. Applications for the semester starting in September, the academic year, and close on Friday, tomorrow. So they need to go and apply immediately if interested. And it's sta.uwi.edu/apply. So it's fast closing, you just have less than 48 hours to go, and as soon as possible, because it's a wonderful opportunity. And we only see this as a stepping stone, eh? And of course, we'd like to see more students from Tobago. I've always believed that I don't Trinidad and Tobago. I could call it Tobago and Trinidad. I don't know why it's always flip flop and the sister isle stuff. I don't believe in any of that. This is a twin island republic, and we want to see represent not just representation but manifestation of Tobagoan stories. And we've had a wonderful run with the Tobagoan students who've been in the program. Oshun Trim, for instance, did a brilliant film called Oya on a screenplay that she wrote. That was 2 years ago, and just bring those stories forward because we have to tell our stories, and they're so rich, and we just want to express that and share it with the world.
Broadly, who would your target be in terms of persons to get involved in this program?
Well, generally speaking, it's any age, because we even take mature students who've been in the industry. They have to sit for an interview and provide a portfolio. But generally, people who have a passion for film and see it as a profession and want to go ahead with it, it is a lucrative field as well. People don't see it as a traditional or safe occupation, but it actually is part of the cultural industries and which is a growth sector in the future economies. So those people who feel that they want to back themselves in, as future workers in a very, very exciting field, they should come on down. You got to have the usual minimum 5 passes in CXC or CSEC, general proficiency grades 1 to 2 if it's before 98, and 1 to 3 after 98, and must include English language. You got to get between an A and a C, and you get passes in any 2-unit CAPE or GCA level subjects, one of which has to be in the humanities. So if you have those qualifications, if you don't and you're somebody in the industry or mature student, then you come in for and do an interview and you present your portfolio. So we're open. We don't see this as, we see emerging filmmakers as being of any age. You could be 60 years old, maybe a retiring public servant, and you want to complete that dream you had all the time of making films and telling your stories or our stories on screen. So all are welcome, and it's very, very exciting. We've had so many things happening. We're constantly having screenings and fora and all sorts of events, So it's not just the courses, but you also have constant happenings, therefore, that involve. We have a film festival called the World Festival of Emerging Cinema, and we also have a journal called Caribbean Cinema Review. We've got lots of sort of ancillary stuff supporting it. So it's an exciting environment. It's a kind of a cultural hub right now in the East. And yeah, it's very, very exciting. We
I,
just came up with film camp, which was 14-year-old plus students um, who had a great time. And, all our alumni came and mentored and taught them. It's very exciting.
All right. For the benefit of those viewers and those younger ones who have the challenge, they have an interest in film, they're into the arts and so on, but parents seem to be saying, "Where you going and work with that in Trinidad and Tobago?" I know you said it's a lucrative field once done well, and you give the commitment and so on. What are some of the avenues for persons who qualify themselves in this area coming out of the undergraduate program?
Well, we're looking at portability because you can now you can do your thing from anywhere in the world, particularly screenwriting, and it's extremely lucrative. It's not a glut space for us where the other traditional professions there are lots of people competing. This is quite new ground, and film, as you know, is extremely lucrative. So there are lots of opportunities in screenwriting and directing and producing, editing, all of these the various professions, and it's highly portable. So as I said, a lot of our students are finding traction all over the world now. I just saw some of them were in Poland and Paris filming and so on. So it can be highly lucrative. We hope you're going for the art, but the commerce always follows. Film is a multi-billion dollar um, industry. It's one of the pillars of the future economy, and we want our students, our alumni from Tobago, from Trinidad, from the Caribbean, to get some traction and get a piece of the action. So it's very exciting. And I want to say, they always say, we say ready for the real world, REEL world. And that answers your question. And how you go eat. Well, we're getting ready for the real world and to compete and to eat. We reach a point where we want to make sure you don't eat too much and you maintain your health because you got to live long, prosper, and make plenty films.
All right. And I'm seeing some good news in the mix here by way of notice. And I know that she's an official part of the university administration out there. Thanks for the update. The extension was extended to August 18th, 2023. And this is a notice coming from Ninga Melville joining us online there. So there's a little more time, folks. But please ensure that you do the necessary follow up. There's been an extension to August 18th, 2023, as of yesterday, for persons to be able to apply. Ready for the real world, apply now. All right, just before we close, Dr. Ramesar, any additional information you would like to share? So that deadline has now been extended to August 18th.
All our stuff to that day too. I just want to say welcome aboard if you're coming on board, and it's going to be the most exciting journey of your life. So God bless everybody, and come on down.
Excellent. Thank you very much there, Dr.
Thank you for
Ramesar,
having
joining
me.
us here. Ramesar joining us here on set this morning, coordinator of the U.W.I Film Degree Program, certainly giving that encouragement to persons out there. A very lucrative field, and certainly one where you can now expand that scope. And I think I'm particularly impressed with the fact it's not just about a classroom and the learnings within the confines of the classroom, but that kind of international exposure that's being given to students to really go out there and represent. Kudos to the University of the West Indies. All right, viewers, we want to say thank you so much to each and every one of you for connecting with us here on the Tobago Updates morning show. It's been a beautiful morning, and I also want to shout out in the mix very quickly on the live with us. Yes, my very good friend out of the university there, Ninga. I want to say good morning to you. Sharon Andrews, Denise Homer Jack, Suzette James in the mix with us this morning. And also I see on with us, Ria Richardson George. Good morning to you, Ria. And for those of you who might have missed the announcement a little earlier, Ria is out for a few. Ria, enjoy that vacation time out. Don't forget to bring us back some good stuff here when you return to Tobago, all right? So do keep safe on the outside. We want to thank each and every one of you for continuing to connect and to choose the Tobago Updates morning show. At this point, we're prepared to head on over to Tobago Notes, followed by GMT. Bye-bye for now.